Do you love the enchanting whimsy of Disney movies? And the cute fantasy films of Studio Ghibli? Well, let me introduce you to my fantastic friend SORA Star. She's an incredibly talented and gifted Scottish artist who specialises in unique Disney fan art and renditions of folklore creatures. If what you're seeing on screen right now is to your fancy, then please consider following her on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. You can also purchase prints of her art or custom commissions from her coffee shop. Whatever you order from her coffee will be packaged with love and care. Plus, everything is shipped for free worldwide. It's very important for us to support brilliant independent artists like SORA. Thank you, folks. Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here, and welcome to this month's episode of Jambareeqi Orange, the show where I let my patrons decide what I review. The options for this episode included Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, John Wick, Dungeons & Dragons, Scream 5, Monsters vs. Aliens, My Neighbour Totoro. They chose My Neighbour Totoro. In 1950s Japan, university professor Tatsuo and his two daughters Satsuki and Mei moved to the countryside to be closer to the hospital where their mum is staying. The girls struggle to wait for their mum to get better, but are amazed to discover that many fairytale creatures reside around their new home, most notably the big friendly Totoro. I've seen some folks call this movie Studio Ghibli's most overrated film, however I cannot disagree more. The more times I've watched it, the more I've come to appreciate it. Yes, it's a very slow-paced movie that takes its time with its scenes. But that's the charm of it to me. It's a kids movie that trusts children to be patient enough to pay attention to small details and wait for something exciting to happen. There's something meditative and peaceful about the whole movie that's so tranquil. You can grab a cup of tea or hot chocolate, throw this film on, make yourself comfortable, and just get lost in its quiet, humble atmosphere. At the same time, it's a film that's wonderful at capturing the innocence and magic of childhood. When you're a kid, time really does slow down and days feel longer because you're not worried about the hands on the clock and just want to explore and try everything around you.
Hey, wait up!
This is not to say that the film's only appeal comes from its vibes. There's a deeper subtext to this movie that makes it more than your average slice of life fantasy. You see, both sisters really want to seem more mature than they really are, maybe out of coping with their grief, or to fill a void that their absent mother has left. Satsuki is eager to take over cooking duties while her busy dad works, plus clearly idolizes a kind mother, and isn't subtle about how much he wants to be like her.
Your hair will never cooperate. It's exactly like my hair when I was your age.
Do you think it'll start cooperating soon? I want it to look just like yours.
I think it will.
She really wants to seem strong and resilient to adults, but we can tell that she's frightened deep down. Now, I can imagine some audiences finding Mei kind of annoying. I get it. She's often very whiny and stubborn, but that's what real 4-year-olds can be like. They're yet to learn how to express their emotions better. Plus, Mei does have the charms and quirks that make girls her age endearing too, like curiosity, shyness, and giddiness. While Satsuki is trying to emulate her mother, it's very obvious that Mei desperately wants to copy her big sister. Not only does she like to imitate Satsuki sometimes,
It's collapsing! It's collapsing!
but she also insists on joining Satsuki's school class in one scene too.
What are you drawing, May? It's a big Totoro.
These girls really want to grow up fast. Enter Totoro, a whimsical fairy creature who brings a sense of adventure and playfulness to their worried lives. He's the perfect distraction, like a teddy bear that's come to life. There's something incredibly moving about the idea of folklore creatures who can only be seen by children and mainly exist to help kids enjoy the magic of childhood while looking out for their safety. I get a bit teary-eyed just thinking about it. Although I do think that Tatsuo deserves just as much credit for sparking the girls' imaginations. From validating the presence of Totoro.
Totoro's hole is gone. Are you sure it was here? Mm-hmm. Dad, she says the hole disappeared.
Then, right now the forest spirits don't want to be seen.
But Dad, I want to see them too.
Maybe you will, if you're lucky.
To impressively multitasking his job with May's playtime.
Dad, you be the flower shop, okay?
I have to say, this guy is a great dad. In the finale, the girls get a telegram from the hospital telling them that their mother will have to stay in hospital longer. May responds by throwing a tantrum, which annoys Satsuki so much that she scolds her younger sister's immaturity.
You want her to die, May? Is that what you want? No! You're such a baby. Just grow up!
This is when both girls finally get a harsh dose of reality and realize that they're not as grown up as they think. After bottling everything up, Satsuki lets herself be vulnerable in front of an adult.
Maybe she's dead already.
Now don't say that, sweetheart.
Only to then learn that May has ran to the hospital to give their mum some corn. This climax makes Satsuki realize that she wasn't mature enough to play mum and should have been focusing on being the best big sister she could have been, because what she told May just made her feel pressure to prove her independence. While May comes to the scary realization that she can't brave the world like a big sister yet, but it's okay for her to act like a normal toddler and she could wait her turn to be Satsuki's age. It's this natural character development that makes the girls waving goodbye to Totoro and his friends so touching. They don't need their spirit guardians to help them anymore, because they've learned to express their grief more openly, understand their boundaries, and embrace being playful, imaginative kids. I think what makes this film poignant in a special way is that it was very autobiographical for director Hayao Miyazaki. You see, Hayao's own mother spent a part of her life hospitalized from spinal tuberculosis, so My Neighbour Totoro was Miyazaki's way of finding catharsis in a specific traumatizing childhood memory, going as far as basing May and Satsuki's mother on his own mother. Knowing this trivia makes the film even more personal in retrospect. To conclude, I think that My Neighbour Totoro really deserves its success and legacy. It's not just cute girls doing cute things while befriending a magical monster. It's also an emotionally complex coming-of-age tale that's about how a pair of siblings deal with the absence of their mother, as they both grow and discover themselves while adapting to the countryside. So those are my thoughts on this Ghibli classic. What do you think of this movie? Let everyone know in the comments below, and don't forget to click that like button. As always, my patrons will be the ones deciding the next episode of Jambareeqi Orange. The options for the poll include Dracula, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always, The Evil Dead, Ponyo, and Hilda and the Mountain King. That's a pretty awesome selection, right? Now, don't forget that you need to be a patron to access this poll. What is a patron? Don't worry, I'll explain.
This is my Patreon. It's a site for my fans to support me financially on through a monthly basis. Those who donate are called patrons. Patrons can donate as much as they want and are welcome to stop donating anytime. In return for their generosity, patrons are given exciting rewards based on their pledge amount. These rewards include early access to my videos before they go up publicly on YouTube, behind the scenes content, their name in the end credits of my videos, a chance to request a review of anything at all, and much more.
I'm very excited to see what my patrons vote for next. I've been Jambareeqi, feel free to subscribe. Cheerio folks.